So today we're going to be making a jumping crop. You're going to need a stick, 2 colors of tape, and some scissors. To start out, you take your tape and start wrapping it at the very top. I am going a bit of an angle, just looks a bit better, and wrap downwards like that. Sometimes it takes a while. You just keep wrapping downwards at an angle. Try and keep it evenly spaced, like the little piece of tape. Kind of like if you're wrapping polos, you want it to be nice and even. And just keep wrapping until you get to the bottom. Once your stick is a nice solid color, you can leave the ends blank because we'll be covering that later. Take your next color, and this part is really important to keep it nice and even, or it won't look as good. Again, start at the top. And trim that later. And, keep going down an angle, but leave a little bit of the pink showing to give it a spiraled effect. Not spiral, I don't know. Just multicolored. This part doesn't take as long. Make sure to keep it even, so if you mess up, just pick it up and pull it over a bit. Keep it as even as you can. It's hard to keep it even, but I'll try until you're done. So now you should have a multicolored stick with darker colored, with lighter, whatever you want to do. Multicolored stick. Next up is to make a handle. So jumping crop handles are usually pretty long. Make it however big you want. That's the good thing about this crop, is you can have it whatever length you want. This time, you wrap it starting at the very top and go down all the way. Like, I'm just going to keep going down all the way, as far as you want, sort of thing. Then, when you get to the length you want, I'm going to go about here, maybe a little farther. Get to about there. I like to do about hand width, like maybe a little longer. Okay, a little bit bigger than your hand. Start going back up. Same angle. I'm just gonna make it a little thicker, obviously. So, you want to go up and down. A couple times. You put your, this doesn't really matter how, it's black for mine, so it doesn't really matter if it's a little bit uneven. So just kind of put your fingers in the middle and then kind of keep wrapping. When you get up to the top, get up to the very top, so you have a little handle here. You want to make the top a bit thicker so that you have something that doesn't slip out of your hand. So just kind of try and keep it even, sort of thing. You don't want to be all over the place. You want it to be nice, solid. You want this to look like good. Just keep wrapping it till you get, see, it's already getting a little thicker. Hope my face isn't in this. And then keep wrapping. You get, I like mine to be a little thicker than this. Keep wrapping. And then that's about, I like mine to be about this big. I don't know, I like that. And then you just cut it off. And we'll move on to the next step. So for the next step, we are going to be making the little flap that goes at the end. So what I like to do is I take a couple pieces of tape and just fold them in half to the length I want. So like go double the length you want of your flap thing, put it together, and cut it off. Well, no, but cut it off, sorry. And then keep folding it over until you get it thickish. You don't want too thick. Okay, I'm really bad at this, as you can see. So I'm gonna keep going till you get it as thick as you want. You're doing 2 of these, so, well, 4 of them technically. So you do that. So mine's about this thick, not very thick, just, you know, thick enough. Then cut it off and put it to the side. Then you want to do 4 more. Then we'll move on to the next step. So once you have your little pieces like this, take 2 of them together. So move this over. And you want to take them together. So you just have to just put a little piece over it. You can trim, if they're uneven, you can trim them off later. So then just wrap it around, I'd say twice, 3 times, I don't know, until it's like good thickness and like they won't come apart. Cut it off and do the next half of it until the whole thing's covered. This part's a bit difficult because they kind of bend. It gets kind of annoying. So make sure they're good. Then I think 3 times is enough. Just want to have it all covered. If your things are uneven, now is the time to trim it before you do the last one. Because now is when you'll kind of like tape it off. Cutting this tape is very hard, by the way. It's really thick. And it's sticky. There we go. So, it's a nice little square. Your last bit. And then you're done. There you go. And then there you go. And then we'll move on to the next step. So once you have your 2 pieces, you want to put them together. Well, no, not yet. You want to put them on your crop like this. It's really hard to pick up. So there's like 1 on each side. Sorry. 1 on each side of it. Then you're going to tape it around. You're going to like be trimming this part, so it's not going to be a big stupid square. Unless you want a big stupid square. But, so you're going to take your tape, again, as usual, and tape it on. Just make sure you have it on the very end because you want it to be a little bit longer. Go. Kind of annoying doing this part. It takes a while. And I usually drop it. As you know, I'm really good that way. Tape it on. Like so. Then repeat what you're doing with the last one. Go around a couple times to make sure it's really on. That. Trim it off. Then go the rest of the way down. Then we'll move on to the next step. Once you have your pieces taped on, like this, you want to trim the corners off. Here and here. Once you trim the corners off, like that, take your tape and you want to wrap it. So like right now, it's kind of wiggly and like would probably fall off if you pulled hard enough, which you don't want. Wrap it around the top to try and hold it on. Try and keep it slim at the top because I'm trying to make it look like a crop, not like a lump of tape. Keep wrapping it tightly around the top. You want it wrapped really tight top because you want it to stay on. Then once you have it nice and tight, kind of like that, wrap up top of it. This is where it kind of all comes together, and if you were kind of thinking, wow, that is one ugly crop, it starts to actually look kind of good. Well, it's never going to look store-bought, but it looks a bit better now. There you go. So that is that step. So now, what you need to do once this part, test it, see if it's wiggly. Shouldn't be. We're going to tape these edges because they're kind of rough and dirt will stick to them. It'll be gross. It won't show, but it's still kind of just gross. So just tape along here. Just go like that. Fold it over. This has to be once because you don't want it to be too thick. And there you go. Just cut it off. The reason I chose black is because this part isn't very even sometimes. And so it's nice to have black so you don't have to worry about it being really, really even. Next part, we just cover up the end. Take a piece of tape, wide enough to cover the end, not too wide. Just wide enough, exactly. Put it and trim it about there and fold it over. Just fold it over. You're done. Last part is to cover up this end because it looks kind of stupid. So you just want a little square, just a little square, not a whole lot. And you can adjust it later. Put it over the top, fold it down like that. And then it's not too perfect, you just want to cover. Then that is your finished crop. You can put decorations on it. I guess you could probably cut a little decoration out using like the pink tape or the other color and put it here, or put some decorations on the handle. But for this video, I'm just going to keep it like this. I think these crops are really good for cross-country because most people have their little cross-country colors, and a lot of stores don't sell every color crop. So if you ever have like really crazy cross-country colors that you can't find, you can just go out and buy tape, get a stick. I don't know where my stick came from. You could probably use one from outside and just kind of like sand it down and trim it so it's nice and straight. And then, there you go.